All right, and good day to all of our viewers across the county coverage area. I'm Joshua Weisel here in the Weather 225 Storm Studios with another warm and humid forecast ahead. This afternoon is going to be warmer in many locations compared to yesterday. And that's weird saying because yesterday we had some record high temperatures in some locations. There could easily be some broken records across parts of the area. Maybe today. We'll have to wait and see what Mother Nature has in store for us. Highs are going to range anywhere from 102 to 107, depending on the county coverage area. We went ahead and bumped up the temperature for today in Northwest Arkansas to about 102 for the official recording location in Fayetteville. We'll have to wait and see. Highs, in all honesty, could be anywhere from 101 to 103. We'll have to wait and see if Mother Nature goes with our forecast. Again, forecasting, it's a lot of science and everything along the lines with that, but Mother Nature sometimes does not actually, do exactly what the forecast calls for. Good news is, at least this time of year, it's not a super tricky forecast. It's the warm temperatures. It's getting the exact numbers, which to many, exact number may not matter because it's just hot and miserable out there. So plan accordingly. If you're a parent with a student that's in sports, I know we got football practice and some other sports that are starting up here for the fall semesters. Regardless of what level you're playing, make sure that your student athlete is hydrated. And if you're a coach, trainer, someone working on the sidelines, make sure that you're also protecting yourself from the heat and just keep an eye on the wet bulb globe temperature and the temperatures in general. So protect you and the students from that. If you're working outside and yard work, construction, contracting, I was thinking of contracting and construction at the same time before I said that. So if you're in any outdoor work, physical activities, anything, make sure you're protecting yourself from the heat. Take breaks in the shade. Stay hydrated. If you're a pet owner, please don't walk your pets during the day today. It's going to be way too hot. So really warm, really humid. Some heat index values could be 115. And there is the opportunity that some areas could see some heat index values above that as we make our way into this afternoon. So that's a look for this afternoon. What about this morning? Well, here's a look at the bus stop forecast for parents that are dropping off students or students getting on the bus. Here's a look at what we've got. No major changes to the forecast. There could be a couple clouds here and there throughout the morning, but no major issues. Lows are starting off this morning right around the 70s and 80s, depending on where you're watching from. So warm and humid afternoon, and we're starting that day before we get to the warm and humid afternoon with more warm and humid conditions. So good news is no severe weather risk today. There's going to be another low-end risk for maybe some pop-up showers. It's going to be very similar to the last 48 to 72 hours, right? You may get one or two little pop-up showers, maybe an isolated thunderstorm. You may not get anything at all. And it's just going to be another one of those days. The Weather Prediction Center is showing that if we do see rainfall, very isolated, not long-lived, and only a couple tenths of an inch. So unfortunately, with the rain that we get, if you're lucky enough to see the rain, it's not going to be enough to help with the drought conditions, which we got our latest update here, and we'll show you more on that here coming up. The unfortunate news is the drought is still there. The warm and humid conditions are there as well. And, the humidity is at least kind of helping somewhat with some of the fire weather conditions, but it's not going to help dramatically. There's still dry conditions throughout the region. We haven't seen a whole lot of rain. We've got the warm temperatures, and that's leading to fire weather conditions just in parts of the area and areas to the west. It's only really covering Payne County, Oklahoma. So it's not a widespread issue, but my concern is that this is going to start to build in further over the next couple of weeks, and we'll have to talk more about fire weather conditions as the drought starts to worsen. So we'll need to keep an eye on that. Some good news is at least the heat and the humidity is kind of helping with the morning fog potential. So according to the latest algorithm with our Foghorns morning fog outlook, no major issues are expected throughout the remainder of this morning. Same with what we were expecting yesterday evening when we showed you the Foghorns morning fog outlook. So, even the areas that are showing up in red, that's 10 miles of visibility or more. So no major issues this morning. Huge shout out to Foghorns for sponsoring this segment and Weather 225's live weather channel. And be sure to support them. We're so incredibly grateful to have them on the channel as a sponsor. So huge shout out to them. Sports season's coming up. Been telling everyone this. Make sure that you head on over, regardless if it's a home game or an away game. They've got some great food. It's a great atmosphere, especially for Arkansas football games. Get to be around some fans, enjoy some food and everything along the lines with that. And so just be sure to support them. They're located in Fayetteville. Support them like they support us. We really appreciate them. So be sure to check them out. We're going to have to talk about more warm and humid conditions. I'll talk more about that here coming up. So we've been mentioning the drought, right? It hasn't really changed at all with the latest update that we got yesterday. And remember, Thursday is when we get the latest drought monitor updates. No major changes with this compared to last week. But my concern is, according to the Climate Prediction Center, over the next couple of weeks, we still have the opportunity for a sudden onset drought and a high risk for extreme heat. When you combine those conditions, I think the drought's going to get worse in many locations. We may have to start watching for more moderate conditions building in to parts of the area. So we'll need to keep an eye on that. And we'll let you know the very latest as it becomes available. So why this heat? And we mentioned this yesterday evening. We've got ridging building in. And the origin of it, notice in the Gulf we have high pressure. South of Juarez, Mexico, we have high pressure. We have high pressure that's in Charlotte. So we're really under this dome that unfortunately really is basically a bullseye over our county coverage area. And so we're getting a lot of dry conditions, a lot of warm conditions, and it's just going to be kind of that miserable ridging pattern over the county coverage area for the foreseeable future. And that means, notice all that red? We've got above average temperatures that are going to stick around for a long time. So I wish I had some better news, but it's just not going to go away anytime soon. And we're talking well above average. Like we mentioned, the Climate Prediction Center did mention a high risk for extreme heat. So we'll need to keep an eye on this. We're still kind of in that normal range for precipitation, which I've been mentioning is both kind of a good and a bad thing. The bad thing is it's not, good opportunities for rain, right? At least the good news is it's not no chances for rain. So you have to kind of look at this either way. It's good and bad. I wish we had more rain chances on the horizon. The rain chances that we have for the foreseeable future, at least for today and tomorrow, very isolated. It's going to be that opportunity that, yeah, you could get one or two little pop-ups in parts of the area, or you may see nothing at all. Now, they start to go up a little bit later, Sunday evening, Monday and Tuesday, because there should be a weak system that tries to push into the area. It's not going to lead to any sort of major temperature differences. Notice we go from 100 to 98. So not a big deal. I wish we had the same forecast that we had a couple weekends ago when the weather was just beautiful, right? But unfortunately, it's going to be another warm and miserable next 7 days in the forecast, which I know it's boring. We have to find 500 million synonyms to tell you it's hot, right? So be sure that you check in these forecast updates because we're here every day, whether it's hot and quiet or we have the most amount of storms that we've ever seen. We're here for you 24/7. We're your one-stop weather shop. Warm and humid conditions continue for the foreseeable future. Triple digits are expected pretty much all across the county coverage area. So brace for the heat. Stay cool out there. Make sure that you're staying hydrated. And please, if you're working outside, I've seen a lot of workers in construction, yard work. Don't push it. I know there's a lot of you that may think, well, I can just get this done. I don't need to take that many breaks, right? Make sure you're putting your health first. You need to make sure that you're putting your health first because in this heat, especially in Oklahoma and the River Valley, near 107 in some locations, you need to protect yourself from the heat. So please make sure you're putting your safety first. I know you got a lot to do, but don't push it. Make sure you're protecting yourself. Same with the athletes. And if you're on a coaching staff, you need to be taking a look at those wet bulb globe temperatures, the temperatures in general, making sure that the student athletes are not overdoing it because it's way too warm in many locations. So stay cool, stay, tuned to the forecast. We'll be here for you 24/7. We're your one-stop weather shop for all things weather in the coverage area.